some of your guys, if it's the older version, it says to graph. We are not going to graph. All we're going to be doing is solving. Okay? And most of you, if you got a hard copy, already have that correction. Okay? So you can go ahead and just mark off that graph stuff. Okay. So now, real quickly here, we're going to start by looking at number 5. When we were doing this, can anybody tell me, what is the absolute value of 14? 14. What's the absolute value of negative 14? 14. So we have a positive and a negative, right, as possibilities. Okay? It's the same thing in equation world. We have a positive and a negative equation as the two possibilities. When you do absolute value, you're going to get two solutions because you can get two answers in here that will give you the same result. Okay? So there are two numbers that I can plug in here to get you a 4 on the outside. Okay? So anytime you see the absolute value bars, I have to kind of think of it. Here's 1, here's 2. There are two answers or two equations here. Okay? So absolute value has 2. It's a very common error that a lot of you make on your quizzes. You'll only solve one of the two. Okay? Because you'll forget that there's going to be a positive and a negative answer or version here. Okay? All right, so with that being said, when we have absolute value, we're going to have two equations. We're going to have the positive equation, and we're going to have the negative equation. Okay? So now the positive equation is very simple. Just copy down what you have. There's nothing to change there. You literally copy y plus 2 equals 4. Okay? Y plus 2 equals 4. Right? Yeah. All right. And then the negative equation is going to be y plus 2 equals negative 4. So notice that I've taken this 4 and we've broken it into a positive 4 and a negative 4. Did I touch anything inside that absolute value? No. A lot of people want to put plus 2 and minus 2. No, 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 no. Whatever's in there gets put down twice. The 4 is going to be a positive and a negative. And now you're just going to solve the two equations. Okay? So what would I do here to solve this guy? How are we going to solve this one? Good. Subtract the 2 off. So 4 minus 2 is 2. Okay. All right, and you're going to do the same thing on the second equation. You're going to subtract the 2 off, and what is negative 4 and negative 2? Negative 6. Okay. So now, when I look at this, and guys, I'm going to kind of make it clear, I'm not going to ask that you show checks, but I want you to kind of understand where it's coming from. If I were to take this, and I were to plug it back in for y, right, I would have the absolute value of 2 plus 2 equals 4. Does this work out? Yeah. The absolute value of 4 equals 4. So that's good. Okay, it'll be the same thing here. I would have the negative 6 and I would plug him in. So the absolute value of negative 6 plus 2, well, what is negative 6 plus 2? Negative 4. So what is the absolute value of negative 4? 4. So it's getting me to the same result. Okay? So you're going to have two answers. Okay? Two answers. All right? Okay, again, I'm not going to ask that you show your check. I just want you to show how it works. I was trying to show you how it works. Okay? Now, there is a difference between 5 and 6. On 5, you see what it's equal to? It's equal to a positive 4. Here, this is equal to a negative 1. Let's go back over here for a second. Can I ever have a number that I think the absolute value of that will give me a negative on the outside?
No.
No. Okay? So when I have this guy right here, and I've got a negative 1, when I rewrite this, I get 3n minus 4 equals negative 1, right? And then how would you solve that? Add the 4 over. Right? So I get 3n equals 3, and then what will we do? Good, divide by 3. So n equals 1. So now if I show a check for this real quick, if I take this guy and plug him in, I've got the absolute value of 3 times 1 minus 4.
So you only have 1.
And that's going to equal negative 1. All right, well, 3 minus 4 is what?
Negative 1.
Okay, so the absolute value of negative 1 is what? What's the absolute value of negative 1? 1. So can 1 equal to negative 1? This doesn't work, does it? Okay, so this guy right here being equal to negative it's a problem. We can't do it. So does anybody got an idea what our answer might be? That's right, Chloe, no solution, okay? So anytime you see a negative, it's a no solution. You don't even have to show work. It's an automatic no solution. Okay, so real quick, if I zoom out, is there any other problem on these 5 that's going to be a no solution? 9. Why is 9 a no solution? Good. If I have a -7, it's an automatic no solution. Okay, so the first thing you can do when you're looking through these is look for the what equal to a negative and write a no solution. All right, there's no work to be shown. You're either going to write no solution or you're not. It's either going to be right or wrong. Okay? All right, now, again though, that's not how it works when there's a positive. When there's a positive, we write our 2 equations. Okay, so when there's a positive, we write our 2 equations. So I've got 2/3 h plus 4 equals 8. And 2/3 h plus 4 equals -8. Okay. All right, so how would we solve this? Caitlin starts off. What are we going to do on this first equation here?
What? Oh, I was writing my notes.
We're doing our notes. We
Oh,
need to be
okay.
writing.
You would subtract 4 from me.
Okay, good. So subtract 4. So 2/3 h equals 4. All right, Ellie, what would we do now?
Divide by the reciprocal, or multiply by the reciprocal.
Good, multiply by the reciprocal. Now, if you guys prefer to multiply by 3 and then divide by 2, it's the same thing. So everything over here will cancel. So I have h equals, now I'm going to put my 4 and 1, and then cross cancel. I already heard the answer, which is great. This goes to a 1 and a 2. So 2 times 3 is 6. Okay. All right, and let's go to the next one. Guadalupe, what's my first step going to be?
Subtract 4.
Good, so subtract the 4. So I'm going to get 2/3 h equals, all right, and what is -8 and -4?
-12.
Good, -12. All right, Emma, what are we going to do now to solve this?
Multiply by the reciprocal.
Good, so we're going to multiply by 3 over 2. So those cancel. Again, I'm going to put that over a 1. If you need to cross cancel. So it goes to 1 and 6, and I heard 18. It's close. What's wrong with that? The -18. Negative times a positive would be a -18. Okay? So my answers for h here, I could plug in a 6 and get out 8, or I can plug in -18 and get out an 8. Okay? So those are my 2 answers. All right, I'm going to give you a second. I want you to try number 8 on your own. Number 8 on your own.